It's been around a decade since I got into cats. That was like when I first like. I mean, I always like even when I was a kid, like I knew that it was like around. Like I'd keep hearing about it. Like it was like just something like in the cultural background, you know, especially in like the '90s and stuff. So yeah, I always like knew about it in the context of like its like Broadway primacy or whatever. It was definitely something that one hears about. But yeah, I was probably around 20 when uh, like I looked into it and like developed a love for it. Um, that was when like I watched that officially recorded video of the stage production. I bought the soundtrack, which I still listen to. When I was 20, I had my final night of trick or treating, and I went as the Rum Tum Tugger. Later on that night, I went out on the town with some friends. I wandered into a bar to use the lavatory, and I won a costume contest I didn't actually enter. Um, on the strength of that awesome Rum Tum Tugger costume. I should say that my friend was dating a makeup artist at the time, and she did my face paint for that. So yeah, that probably helped. Anyway, I was primed for this movie already, and it triumphed. It really did a fantastic job of taking the musical in new and wildly fantastical directions while it, you know, maintaining um, the core of the original. It really shows what you can do when you adapt a musical from stage to screen. There are there's a lot of freedom that gives you, and there's a lot of uh, like potential for return on investment. Really, like I mean, adaptations have always been a big part of cinema. Like Gone with the Wind was based on a book. There were like two adaptations in like a decade of Ben Hur, right? Like it goes back, and now people are talking about it. People really seem to be wanting to adapt more stuff because like uh, people are hungry for content, and you can just keep making more stuff, and you'll run out of writers before you run out of money, right? So why not use source material? But no one seems to want to adapt stage musicals, and there's such call for it, especially because more people can like. It's harder to have the resources to get out to see a musical uh, in comparison to just like going to your local theater. Like everyone wants to see Hamilton. Most people can't because they don't live in New York, and the people who live in New York can't because tickets are booked up for 2 years. So first of all, I don't know why more uh, musicals aren't filmed and put out in the way that Cats was in the '90s. But beyond that, like I wasn't surprised to like this movie version of Cats, but I was somewhat uh, delighted by like the stuff they can do with a massive movie budget in contrast to one stage and nothing but practical costumes and effects, right? Um, and dancers who don't have the benefit of wires and uh, digital trickery. Um, but yeah, like so. I mean, obviously, like, Hamilton would be like an obvious choice to adapt for the screen. I would love to see what they could do with Wicked. Like if they can do like all of this with cats, despite the fact that you're really just watching a bunch of cats do their individual things. Imagine what you can do with like an epic story like Wicked. And I was lucky enough to see like that in its original run, with its original cast, when I was too young to like really appreciate its own merits and the privilege I was getting to see like people like Idina Menzel do their thing and originate these iconic roles. But in retrospect, I can appreciate it. So that's great. At the time, I was just dragged by my family, but whatever. Lucky me. I'm sorry to all of you people who would have killed to uh, be there at a time when they could appreciate it, and I was just some dumb middle school kid. But yeah, even then, I there was a part of me that enjoyed it. It was good, man. Even then, it broke through. But yeah, that's solid. When you are a wizard. Anyway, where am I going with this? Yeah, basically what I'm saying about cats and the very concept of um, adapting musicals to cinematic glory. My response to that, uh, more please. Yeah, cause dude, I'm here for cats. I'm here for all of that, and man, it's hard to pick like one like outstanding performance. I think that the one that everyone's going to talk about is Ian McKellen though. It's it wasn't my favorite number, but I'll agree with everyone who says that that dude brought it. But uh, everyone brought it, and one of the things I liked, everyone brought it in different ways, which fit the tone of the film, which was constantly shifting. And it was, the very tone of the film was mercurial, as cats can be. So that worked. Um, but yeah, just overall, man, if you just want to be delighted in weird ways, uh, which you probably do if you're listening to the weirdly delightful James Buckman, then go and see Cats. And I will say this: I don't often say this about movies. Like, I mean, I love going to the theater, um, but like the size of the screen generally doesn't like affect me. Seeing this on a big screen instead of Netflix, I do think that this is one film where that matters somewhat. But you know what? It's good anywhere, man. It's Cats. It's gorgeous and wonderful, and I'm thankful for the fact that it has been allowed to exist uh, in its like odd quiddity in 2019. Uh, that that is a Christmas miracle in its own way. So thanks, Cats.